Hello and welcome. Welcome to another edition of CPR's Clubhouse Live. My name is CPR Jose Ortiz. Of course, I'm being joined by the Duchess, Cheryl Rodriguez. And what great special guests we have this week on CPR's Freestyle Live. And let me tell you, like, there's a curse. I don't know if you guys know this. The Chrissy I-eece curse. It's not something that she started or she did. It's me. Every time that she's a guest, we have so many technical issues. The first time we had a conversation for almost an hour and a half, and I didn't even press record on the episode.
And that was a good one.
That was a good one. So let me introduce. You are the incomparable Chrissy I-eece because no one compares to you. Your voice is unique. And I made a meme a couple of days ago. I said if there's a lot of wannabe freestyle artists out there that say that they can sing, but then you tell them, okay, go ahead and sing live, and then they get the freestyle flu real fast, And then Chrissy went in there and she chimed in because she knows what we're talking about. People that always make pretend they can sing. And I'm like, Chrissy, come on, man. We know that you can sing the yellow pages. Give her the yellow pages. It'll be digital, of course, because there's no more yellow pages.
Jose Ortiz.
Yeah, see what I mean?
555-1212.
Also joining us from the LeBron brothers. Let me tell you, Mambo Lebron. My mom is a big vinyl collector,
Thank you.
and I asked her, "Hey, do you have Salsa y Control, the vinyl?" She goes, "Yes, I do," and she shows it to me. I'm like, "I need to borrow that." Nope, and she locked her doors.
I could have got you a copy, you know that, right?
But it said my mom is a 12-inch record collector, and you cannot touch her vinyl. And she knew that I was doing this today. I said, "Look, I'm interviewing Mambo Lebron, who is part of the family." She was like, "No, you can't borrow the 12-inch record." So she has Tito Puente, all her great 12-inch record collection.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I have one too. I have a walk-in closet with all my 12-inch records, but they're all freestyle. But she has the salsa stuff in her apartment. I own a home as 3 family, and she has one of the floors. She locked that quick. Let me tell you. So, just wanted to let you know, my mom is a collector. She knows about salsa and control, and she was giving me, she was like telling me this is what they did, is what. So, anyways,
that's my family. That's my father who started the band Angel LeBron Senior.
Yes.
So I'm the oldest son of the oldest. When Salsa Control came out, I was 2 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, so that music stayed with me all my life. It's here today. It's this day. We'll talk about that later on, though. But thank you so much.
In our home, there's 2 types of music that you listen to here in this home. It's either freestyle or salsa. There's nothing else. You're not allowed to listen to anything else other than you try to put a bachata song in my house, you get thrown out. You know what I mean? So it's that strict. So I welcome you both here because you guys are in both worlds, and the fact that you guys are in both worlds is intriguing to me. As a matter of fact, your brand new single "Take Me Away" borrows from salsa and freestyle and blends it together so well, the way that it should be done, that it was a great treat to my ears.
Thank you. Well, that was the whole purpose of producing the song. To give it the Latin freestyle combination that we had back in the 80s, right, when it started. So just because we're in 2022, I didn't want to change the format of the music. I wanted to keep it nostalgic. I wanted to keep it from back in that era so that people who are freestyle fans don't say to Chrissy, like, wow, we love your song, but it doesn't feel like freestyle. I wanted to feel like freestyle. I wanted to leave off where I left off freestyle 30 years ago as a producer, because I switched over to the salsa scene.
Absolutely. Well, the money is
experience.
Yes.
All right. Money comes second. Okay, the experience comes first.
So they say, right?
But yeah, I wanted to keep it that freestyle free with a Latin feel into it. But it's a great song, and Chrissy sang the heck out of it. I couldn't be happier.
Chrissy, let me tell you, you sound just amazing on this song. The vocals are so clear. Whoever mixed it down, congratulations, they did an excellent job. But it's not when you listen to a song, sometimes the beat carries the artist, or it's vice versa. The artist carries the beat. The compliment on this record is so good that I don't know what I like more, either your vocals or the production. And then you guys old schooled it to the point where you put all these breaks in it, Latin percussions, and also hardcore breaks at the same time. And there's also a version with a rap in it. So it's just if you are a DJ, if you are a fan, if you are into Latin music, if you're into freestyle, everybody gets a little bit of everything in this record. If you're a hip hop fan, same thing. So how did you guys come up with the concept for all these different treats to be in one record?
Chrissy.
Okay, so this is during the time when everyone was, at home with COVID. I was just finishing up. I had already finished up Se Acabó with George G on Chubano Entertainment. And Mambo, I never met him in person, or we may have crossed paths
Right.
in the clubs when we
Back
performed,
in the
because he
day.
was back. Yeah, he was in that scene as well. But personally, one on one, we've never met each other. But we know so many people that that know one another, and Will from and more. During that time, we were really hanging out a lot, and he would tell me a lot of great things about Mambo. And I knew he was backing up George Lamont, and he was behind Brenda K. Starr when playing with the band. And my
Right.
heart has always been to go back and do salsa.
Hmm.
And so, but when he called me, he says, "Hey, I have a song that I want to write in freestyle." And at first I was like, "Damn, I wanted to do something in salsa." But he was like, "I have a song I want to write with you." But before he even wrote the song, we got to know each other, and he got to know me as an artist, not only what he had done the research of, but actually to talk to me
Hmm.
and know where my heart was, and in the season that I was in right now, and what I've been through and whatnot. And that kind of like fueled the vision of how he wanted the direction of the song to go. And so I says, "Well, let me hear what you have, and then let's just hook up again and let's talk." So we did a little time, because to me, I always look at everything as everything has its appointed time. And
Absolutely.
so he called me up. He says, "Okay, I'm going to send you the demo." And I said, "Ooh, I want to hear it." And he sent it to me. So when I'm listening, I hear a falsetto voice singing, and I'm like, wow, because producers get other
Right.
singers to do the demo, right? No, but he did the demo. So he's like,
I scared her away.
and I'm like, ooh, who's that? Right? Real soft and airy. And I was like, wow. And I started, lyrics to me mean a lot also.
Jose, I'm 6'2", 260 pounds, 50 pounds, and I'm singing like a female. So I can give her the idea of what I'm trying to project
I
here.
I would pay good money for
And
that demo.
Yeah, seriously.
oh, I have it. I
Angel,
have
be
it.
good to me, because now I'm gonna send it to Jose.
I'm gonna be
Oh
good to
man,
her.
I want
Anyway,
to
so
hear Mambo Lebron sing like a falsetto woman. That's gonna be great.
That's
it was
great.
really good. So it was a good demo because I was able to sing along with it and know exactly where I was and stay in pitch, right? But I read the lyrics, and I heard the lyrics and the message of the song. And this song has gone through so many different stages, right? So I heard the regular freestyle version that we're putting out, right, and the dance version. So I'm listening to it. I'm like, man, this is great. Immediately, he booked studio time, and that's where we saw each other for the first time. We went in, we did the song. Then he started sending me like now it's a collaboration, because of course his brother is in there too.
Right.
Go
You
ahead,
know
G.
how hard it is to go to the studio with an artist that you already know,
Hmm.
and they go in the studio and they give you a hard time, and then I don't hear myself in the headphones. Oh, the microphone's
That's
too
not
loud.
me.
Oh, da, 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 da. That's the first time I ever met Chrissy.
We
We
were
had a
like, let's do this.
we had a 4-hour session, and she was so professional,
Mm,
and
thank you.
we had time to spare because she sang the song with her heart.
Mm,
Okay, because it was meant for her.
yeah.
When I wrote the song, it was a great idea. But then when I learned about her life and what she's been through in her life,
Mm,
the song even took more meaning and more meaning to me to say, I'm gonna write a song. Just make this song so we can dedicate to someone that we love unconditionally, that loves us unconditionally, right?
Right.
Mm,
So
Yes.
it's not a love song like You Broke My Heart and We're Back Together. It's not that kind of song.
right.
It's a love song that you can dedicate to your brother, your sister, your wife, your girlfriend, your mother, your father,
Your person.
that
Your person,
person
right,
who you know when you look
is
at
there.
them, they take you away from all your troubles just by being with them, just by holding their hand.
Yeah.
You know that that person will never leave your side, right?
Well,
Yeah.
I can say this, that the song is an experience because, again, all the blending and mixing of different components, the Latin percussion, the vocals from Chrissy I-eece, the hip hop with the gentleman that's doing the rap in it.
Mr.
Um,
Wood.
Mr.
it,
Woods, I love him. He's so
yeah.
cool.
What was your favorite part of the lyrics again, Cheryl?
My love is knocking you out like Ali, and then and then what?
Wait,
I
wait,
just
wait till you see the video.
The creme
oh
de la
I
creme.
cannot
Take you to Fiji, give you
I
diamond
can't
rings
wait.
and fine things.
That wasn't supposed to happen, the rap.
Oh, look at you.
Okay? The rap wasn't supposed to be part of the song.
Exactly.
But my brother Carlos told me, I got this idea and I love my brother. Now listen to what he says, but then as a producer, I got to make decisions, right?
Right.
So he says, just let me try it. We're gonna go to the studio tonight. I'll do this rap. I'll show it to you. When he showed it to me, I fell in love with it.
Yeah.
Now my partner Benny, DJ Benny B, he was and Chrissy, they were just like, this is not freestyle.
Yeah, to me, I was like, I don't know, a rap. Does it really go with the song?
But what he did to the song was
Yeah.
gave us this element. Like,
Yeah.
what's Mr. Worldwide's name? What's his name?
A Pitbull.
Pitbull. What Pitbull does to his dance music. So Mr. Woods did something that was tremendous. It was a small
Yeah.
part,
Yeah.
but I think it's probably the most impactful part besides
Yeah.
Chrissy's vocals. What he did was impactful. I mean, it was.
Well, you should listen to Carlos more often, DJ LeBron, who
I do.
about 2 years ago he did a song with A Love, formerly of TKA. He did a song called Why with Mellow
Mhm.
Man Ace,
I
which
know.
should have been everywhere. The freestyle version of that record is so good, and the beats are so good mixed with Mellow Man Ace's rap that it was like one of these songs that I don't understand why everyone wasn't playing it. And to this day, I still think it's one of the most underrated songs of that year and of the last 5 years. So big shout outs going out to DJ
Yeah.
LeBron.
Angel did a good job. Angel's a good friend of ours. We know the Angel since since before he was TKA. So
Yes.
Angel's a very personal friend of mine and my brother's. They did a great job on that song. You know, look,
They did.
sometimes it's not just the song; it's the timing of
The
when that
timing.
song comes out.
Yeah.
Okay,
Absolutely.
it's
100%. Yeah.
it's a lot of components that make a song a hit. Okay, yeah, like you say before, like it's not what you know, who you know, right? That's
Right.
kind of the kind of thing. But they did a great job. When it came to this song, "Take Me Away," it was a collaboration from myself, my brother, who's this hip hop genius. Me, I'm a musician. I play keyboards. I play piano. I like to play. I like music. My brother's more into rhythm, but I gave the foundation to my brother. He rocked it. Benny came up with great ideas. We put it together. Chrissy, we didn't leave this project unless all four of us were exactly, identically on the same page and say
That's so true.
it's ready.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Mhm.
I love the
I-
fact that I love the fact too that it was in the collaboration, the team. I call us the team,
team.
right? That there is no I in it in there. Like no one was like, well, no, I got a better idea, or I got this, or I got that. It's just so like Angel, who is the head of the whole project, of course. It was like until we all have that stamp of approval and we're all content and happy with it. Um, we'll keep going back to the board, but musically they nailed it in all ways. And even when we did our cover and the picture and whatever we decided, and the video we just finished, everything is just it was just I feel like it was an appointed time for all of us. And I love working with each and every one of them. I feel like we're a family, very close now. And we have so many more things that visions of things we want to do. And if God allows us and gives us the okay to do it, and
Let's do it, man.
we have a lot more stuff coming out.
The mixing mastering was done by Carlos Barrios, by the way.
Yes.
Well, of course, it sounds so good and crispy. Then that's the reason why. I'm looking for the information that I had on the screen. But Cheryl, you had a question, so I'm gonna throw it over to you.
I didn't have a question per se, but I was just going to piggyback off of what Mambo had said earlier about the nostalgia of this particular song, and forgetting about all the different demographic of the different type of people it will touch between the freestyle, the salsa, the rap. You know, you really get a little bit of everything. But what I love is, speaking of nostalgia from back in the day, these songs, the really good ones, if you'll notice, that take a good minute or a minute and a half to get started, because you're just building up that vibe and you're feeling the rhythm. And the first I heard the song and I'm like looking, like I think it went over like a minute and 20 seconds, and then boom, she comes in with these vocals that are like crisp was the perfect word. Like they're so on point, it's ridiculous. But the fact that it built that up in the beginning, I think was my seller too, because it was like, oh, this is golden. I love it. It just got me right in the mood. And when you start singing, I'm ready. You know what I mean? It was just, it was.
Well, my
love it.
experience
I love
in
it.
freestyle, you know, I wrote and produced Within My Heart by Voice. And I
Oh,
did a
so
few,
cool to learn.
and then I did Open Up Your Heart by Rihanna Page. I wrote that. But I had the chance to work with Andy Panda from some Fever, and Andy taught me about song structure.
Mm.
And when the Cover Girls were a hit, of course, Show Me was their big hit. But Andy was all about structure. If you can't understand or sing the words because there's too jumbled, there's too many lyrics in the song, it's just too much to remember, nobody's gonna want to sing it. But if you're gonna sing something like show me you really," it's so easy to capture. Take me away to where the
Yeah.
sun is always
The
rising.
simplicity of
It's
it. Mm-hmm.
right. So the lyrics were simple, the rhythm had to be strong,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
okay? But Chrissy has this voice. And
Mm.
I said to myself, where has this woman been in the
Mm-mm.
past 30 years of my
Yes.
music life?
In the shadows of everybody else. No, it's not.
Oh, no
Wow.
way.
But here
No
we
way.
are. But here we are. We finally got together. And
That's how I feel.
we got stuff for you guys.
Well,
Yeah.
I can't wait to
Yay.
hear that. Go ahead, Duchess.
I'm sorry. I'm so excited. Listen, he mentioned the cover girls, and I just wanted to ask Chrissy, weren't you a cover girl for a short amount of time? Didn't you?
No,
Did you?
I
Okay, go ahead.
did. I went with one day. I said, I think we were, me and Angel were hanging out and they had a show to do. And I told her, I think I did. I jumped on stage with her. I think it was a show in,
You
I
did.
don't-
Yeah.
yeah, I did. I
Yeah.
don't remember exactly whether it was, I know it wasn't in New York. We were in a limo going, I don't know if it was Massachusetts or it was somewhere out there. Because it took like more than 2 hours to get there in the car.
Was it in Rhode Island that you did that?
I like I told you, it was so long ago. I don't remember. Then with my chemo brain, forget it. But yeah,
Did you
like
do
after
these moves
chemo, I
like
ended up with this
show me
chemo brain
show?
that I'm like, what? I don't remember that.
Did you
But
do that, Chrissy? Did you
but
do this like show me? Did you do
Oh,
all
yeah.
that cover girl stuff?
I was just following whatever Angel did. I was having fun. I don't
That's
care. I
so
was
cute.
having fun. I
I
love
love
that. But yeah, and she's so funny. All I do is laugh around her. I love her with all my heart.
Yeah,
She's
Let
she's
me
great.
ask
amazing.
you, how did you feel? We know that the Wendy Williams show closed down and there's no more, but before it closed down, they had the cover girls on there recently.
I was
What
so
was your
happy.
reaction?
I was like, yes, girl. I inboxed her. I was like, oh my God, this is so freaking awesome. And I'm happy. I'm really, really happy for her because and not that I don't know, the other girl, the other cover girls that are performing. I know Evelyn.
Hmm.
She was one of the singers on, I don't know if you remember the song I have called You and Me.
Absolutely, yes.
That's
Marc
Evelyn.
Anthony, right?
Evelyn is the one that's singing on that. When Frankie was producing that, he brought her in and she came to the studio. So, and she's a sweetheart. So I don't get into the politics of what's going on.
Right.
I get along with everybody. You're an artist. You say you're nice to me and you say hi to me, whatever. I'm gonna be the same to you. I have nothing bad to say about anybody out there, but I can only imagine how Angel does feel. You know what I mean? That that's a song, that's her voice, and she needs to be out there singing her own music,
Yes, and they're coming back to New York. They're coming back home. They don't
which is
typically
great.
Yeah.
they don't
They're
typically
fantastic.
get to do shows in New York
Hmm.
because the other version is doing the shows. But the fact that the original voices of the cover girls are coming to New York is great. But I was truly happy for them as well, and I saw them perform live on the now defunct Wendy Williams show. But it was a great day for freestyle that day, um, and
Absolutely.
and we're hoping for many more. Let me ask you, what do you think when I say El Show de Freddie Lopez?
El show de Freddy Lopez. El show de
It's so
Freddy
cute.
Lopez. That's me singing. El
Yeah,
show Freddy
I know,
Lopez.
but it's like I always
Co-host.
remember. I always remember Freddie Lopez with his wind tunnel tested hairdo. You know what I mean? Like it could be a tornado and his hair won't move 1 inch anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I gotta say for Freddie, I love Freddie. During the time that I was going through my own transition, leaving RMM, and
Hmm.
uh because of my album, the salsa album, there wasn't, my song came out, but a lot of the publicity was going to Mark in India during the time.
Right,
um I was in a place where I walked away from everything, and he reached out to me, and he said, "Hey, I would like for you to come and co-host. I have a show on cable, but it's played in Puerto Rico. It's syndicated in a couple of cable stations." So I
right.
was like, "Hey, I mean, I'm a ham. I love all of that stuff." So
Yeah.
I went and I started co-hosting with him. Cynthia was at one point a co-host with us too, and
Yes.
then it was Artie, and everyone passed through that show to do a cameo, right? And then he gave me my own show, which was called the Freestyle Music Show, and it was going to be more about videos and just interviewing artists and then playing their videos, more like a video music show for freestyle.
Right.
But then that's when I think I was just at another place where this is not, I want to record, I want to keep recording. I did music with Artie and whatnot, but I wanted to do my own solo thing. And of course I got discouraged again, and that's when I said, let me just take a break. I met my husband. I got at 99, and I settled down. I got married. I gave my life to Christ. Raised two boys. I battled cancer. My mom had Alzheimer. Had to walk through that journey with her, and then she went on to be with the Lord in glory. And then that's when I resurfaced back, because I knew it was time for me now to come back up. Come back and do what I love to do, because I knew God gave me a second chance, and I know there was a lot more that I still had left to do. He gave me another life.
There was an amazing song that you did with Arlene Amiga, the Spanish one, where it's
Mm-hmm.
very inspirational,
Yeah.
very emotional. It's just one of the best songs that we ever played in the language, Spanish language. So was that the same time that you gave yourself to the Lord? Because it was kind of
Well,
very
Arlene,
spiritual.
yeah, Arlene was one of the people that was was constantly always inviting my husband and I to go to the church, which
Right,
that's where I ended up going, and I surrendered my life to Christ there. And it was a church of the arts also, because the pastor was very into the arts. So they were always doing like these off Broadway shows there. There were outreaches, and we were singing
right.
in the choir and recording records there and everything. And so yeah, so Arlene was kind of like the one that always spoke to us and gave me a Bible, told my husband what Bible to get, and invited us. And we went, that's where we went to Crossroads Tabernacle in the Bronx on Castle Hill Avenue, and we stood there until 2017, that then we came to Florida and built our home.
Cheryl.
Well, we actually have so much in common. It's ridiculous, but you would never know this. But speaking on if your cancer for a moment, if I may, because I think that, I mean, you've been very public about it, and in 2014, I think is when you were diagnosed. Am I correct in saying so?
Yes. Yep.
The following year, my mom was actually diagnosed with the literal same cancer, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma,
Mm-hmm.
followed by breast cancer. And
Mm-hmm.
during that time of your everything that you have to go through,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's really hard for somebody to say, oh, that must be so difficult. But when you know somebody going through it, and you're really up close and personal, there is such an appreciation for the afterlife of it all. And so my mom too went into remission in 2016, and she's doing wonderful so far.
That's
And
great.
I always look at her and people such as yourself, and I just say, I don't know if I could ever be that brave and that strong. And I know from taking care of her after weeks and everything that she went through on the chemo, and even the rehabilitation of it all, because she had to go through, you know, double mastectomy and just very hard times. And now she's probably the happiest she's ever been in her life. And I say that because in looking at you, it looks like everything that you have accomplished to where you have gotten to today, to have been through what you did, you look so genuinely happy
Oh,
where
yeah.
you're at. And it's such a joy to see, because I can so appreciate where you were coming from at a time. And and so I related to you with that. And another long story, very short. No, you don't know this, but I talk about it on my show all the time. But you were quite literally my very first introduction to freestyle, period. There was no Shannon. There was not my aunt Yvette. I was about maybe 14 or 15. And my aunt Yvette was obsessed with you and obsessed with Love Desire. And it was rotated every second of her life. And my uncle, he was a police. He was studying to be a policeman at the time, and he had this orientation, this thing he had to go to Pittsburgh for. So we drove up there to bring him home, and she heard you were performing at somewhere. Oh, I wish I could remember the name. It was like Metro something in Pittsburgh. Well, but here's the whole kicker, right? We thought you were performing because we went for a ride to go get dinner, and we're driving around, and my aunt sees this sign and it says Chrissy I-eece, and she went absolutely psycho. And I'm like 14, I'm like, what is going on? And she's like, wait, I can't even get out of the car because you're underage, and that's Chrissy I-eece, and like, that's the girl I play all the time. That's the song. And of course, we're putting it on in the car. Love Desire was my very first, and of course, I didn't know it had anything to do with freestyle at the time, but it was my introduction to that dance style music. And then everything came afterwards. And so I've held that with me forever and ever. That Chrissy I-eece, even throughout the years, she was the first one that I remember hearing relating to that type of music. And it's just so cool circle to
Wow.
see me here with you now.
Aw.
Interview.
Give me a hug.
I know. And
So,
to further that, to further it,
we got more. All right, I'm gonna just shut my mic off real quick.
Listen, we would be here all night, but I get it. We got married.
You know, this is an interview for Chrissy, right? It's not like life stories of Cheryl.
Yes, but listen to the
It's
information,
okay.
Chrissy. She got married and celebrated her 21-year wedding anniversary, as did my husband and I. So it's just like I feel like we're sisters.
I told you to study and to ask questions. I didn't tell you to stalk her. And do you have her social security number as well? Like, I'm not sure.
Do you have any idea how much I have loved this woman and for how long?
So briefly,
She's a doll.
Chrissy I-eece, did you know that you were like for a long time and still probably are like top 5 women that like people felt like they wanted to marry or like they had crushes on? Like you were like if there was a poster girl for freestyle, right? You were always on the top 5 because you always ask people like, who would you like to date in freestyle? You know what I mean? If you had, and it's always they always bring the Love Desire cover and things like that. So your career spans almost 35 years if you go back to Love Desire. But tell us how you came up with the name Chrissy I-eece, because that
Well, I didn't.
well, okay, who came up with Chrissy I-eece?
Well, when we were recording my first track, which was supposed to be um I Want to Hold You, written by Sapphire. It was that was supposed to be my first track, and this was around the time that she was she was preparing to get married with Albert and all of that. So she wrote, they contracted her because we were all in the same, David Maldonado management. I had a personal manager named Al, and he was like, okay, so let's write a song for her, because I had left Amaretto and went solo. And so that was supposed to be the first song, but it didn't fall through. And so since Ann Moore, her brother, Wilma's brother, Angel was also in the group Ann Moore with Frankie Cutlass and Will. They were there, so they said, well, why don't you guys collaborate and write a song with Chrissy? So me and Will sat down and we started writing Love Desire. After we did Love Desire, I had my own recording studio. They built me my own studio on Morris Park in the Bronx. We went in and started doing vocals, right? So I was on Will was behind the board and I was there, and they were saying, but what would your name be, your stage name? It can't be Chrissy Hernandez. That sounds tacky. Growing up, I was always called India because I always looked Indian. So they would go, Mira, India, India. But India had already left TKA. She was on her own. She wasn't Linda Caraballo anymore. She was La India.
Right.
She was India, not La India. La India came when she did salsa, but she was India. So I was like, okay, so I can't do that name. So we were like, well, we got to look for names that match with Chrissy. So in the meantime, I'm recording, and every time, when you have to say, you have your producer say, okay, you could do it better, do it again, do that line again, do that line again, and over and over. And Will kept saying, do it again and do it again. And I was like, already like, oh man, this boy is getting me really mad. So the Latina and me, the
Yes.
Latina and us will go like, ay, ay. So I just kept going like that time, ay, ay. And he just turned around, he started going, I-eece, I-eece. He goes, you know what we're gonna call you? Chrissy I-eece, because everything that comes out of your mouth is I.
Well, thank goodness it wasn't. Thank goodness it wasn't Jose. Like Chrissy Jose.
No, but now my
Chrissy.
husband said you should have been called Chrissy. I know, right? That's all I do is I know, right? I know, right?
Hey, can we get to the gossip question of this interview? So you talked about India. You talked about being called India. That being one of your names. Now there's always been a comparison to you and La India, and there's always been this thing about either you guys feuding or her stopping you from, getting to where you needed to be in your career. Would you like to talk about that for a moment and let
Yeah,
people know
we
the
had this
facts?
conversation the last time too.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
that's
know.
something some in the industry throughout the years people have always said that. I don't believe that to be true because we know each other and we're good friends. I haven't seen her in many many years, but when we were first in we Mark Mark, her and I were the first. We were considered la nueva generación en salsa. They crossed us over first. We were like the first crossovers from dance into salsa.
Right.
So India, because when she was married to Little Louis Vega during the time, he was working with Mark and myself. That's when we did You Should Know by Now, and we got the deal in Atlantic, a package deal, which was Mark and Louis, and then myself with Joey Carvello. And my song did good, but then all of a sudden radio didn't want to play it, so they said, all right, let's bring them over to the Latin, and that way they could start doing salsa. The RMM was with David Maldonado. They were all together, and so they came up with these ideas to do that. Me and India, of course, we have a lot. We can look like sisters. Her mother always, every time her mother sees me, she goes like, "You could be my other daughter too."
Yes.
And then our range is almost the same. India's, of course, is a lot more higher than mine. You know what I mean? But we have the same texture of voice, and people always was like, "Oh, is that Chrissy singing or is that India singing?" They always did that, but it didn't have anything to do with her stopping me from singing or anything like that. And I never had ever thought that it was her. If it was anybody, it was probably other people in the music industry and the politics of how it is, but um I just feel like I want everybody to know that I wish that one day her and I can do something together, and I
I
put
wish
it out
too.
there. And me and Mambo have been talking about that too. That would be even amazing. And I just put it out there. I pray. I said, God, if we could ever do me and her something together, because even when they used to put us to do interviews, she had the song with Eddie Palmieri out, and I had my song with Luis Pericortis, and we used to go to California and different places or when we had press conferences in the office in RMM. I used to smoke cigarettes and she would smoke her cigars, and she would say, "Come on, let's switch. hold my cigar and I'll hold your cigarette.
I think that if they would have been smart, right, in my opinion, they would have had both of you sing each other's catalogs in different places. They double the money because you could have gotten away with it. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
You know,
There you go.
it's that type of situation. But I'm glad you cleared that up, and I'm not going to
Yeah.
go any further
I
into
love
that.
her.
But
I love
and
her,
thank you.
and I'm so happy that she's where she's at and how successful she has been. The same with Mark. You know, that's talent and those are gifts, and they're out there putting it out there, and they had their time to they're having their time to shine, you know. And I know God is going to allow that for me as well. You know, I
Yeah.
always say I've always been in the shadows of everybody because that's how I felt, you know, because I feel like, man, you know, I know I have talent. I sing, I don't hurt nobody, I don't step on anybody, I stay in my lane. You know, I'm
Right.
always supporting and lifting people up. But you know, I'm learning to be patient, and and I've been blessed with many producers and people that I've worked with, and I just say, you know, I'm just gonna wait until it's my turn, you know. And in the meantime, I just keep singing and I'm keep doing my
Yeah.
little
Listen,
instrument.
your catalog is amazing.
Thank
Not
you.
only is this new song "Take Me Away" going to be amazing,
Oh my
but
God.
we go back to 2020. All these memories was just a great
Mm-hmm.
song
Oh
that you did
yeah.
with Santana Twins. We go
Mm-hmm.
back to Artie and Chrissy I-eece "Secret Lovers," which is a hit in the freestyle community where you have people mixing the Spanish version, the English version, the Spanglish version. It's on Tim Spinning Shomer mixes, and you
Mm-hmm.
know you've arrived when you're on a Tim Spinning Shomer mix. You know, and so and
That's
and and
weird.
and I think "Secret Lovers" is one of my favorite songs from your catalog.
Thank you.
So you know, you should know by now is the song that endeared me to you because I heard that one first before I heard the 1988 Love Desire. But what do you remember about working with Marc Anthony, on this project?
Well, well, Mark, the singer that he is, he challenged me vocally. He pulled out a lot, like, cause I every time I listen to that song, I say sometimes like, wow, you know, because it brings me back to the day when we were in the studio, and it was high, the, you know, the notes were really high, the attitude that he wanted me to sing the song, because he'll tell the story to you. He goes, this is how you have to feel, you have to act it out, you have to pull it out, open your mouth. And I was like, oh, like Mark, you sing like that, don't make me try to make me sing like you. But I'm glad that he did, because that no, when I go no, 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 that was hard. You know how many times I had to do that? And then I would think, wait a minute, when I have to perform that live, you know, like I won't be able to do any more songs after that, you know. And it is, until today, it is very challenging, you know. And so that's why I always leave it for last. But
Oh,
he Mark is fun. Mark is a clown. he was we were always laughing in the studio, and I love that. I love to go into the studio and feel comfortable and laugh and everything. He knows his stuff. That's one thing. And I knew from the very beginning, the time that I met him, that he was gonna be. I used to tell him, "You're gonna be bigger than you ever think or even imagine." And he was like, "You think so, Kiki?" Because he used to call me Kiki. I was like, "Yeah," and I used to call him Charlie. I was like, "Yeah, Charlie, you're gonna be huge." And look at him now, you know, it's such a blessing. I knew his mom, I know me and his sister stay in touch. We don't stay in touch, you know, because I don't reach out to him to call him, because I don't want nobody to think, or him to think, that I'm trying to like get a hand out, hey, help me out or whatever. That's not me. I know that one day we will cross paths on a stage. Maybe one day I'll open up for him, right, Mambo? You know, that's like
Yeah.
no.
That
we
that's
never
my
know.
that's one of our goals. One of our goals.
Yeah, Mambo, in your family, you also have B. Lebron, who's a hip hop, R&B sensation. Somebody in your family that likes to rap, a young lady. I saw a video. It's a B. Lebron. I'm like, is that like your niece, or is that someone with the same last name? I went to Carlos DJ LeBron's page, and she was on there. I'm like, that his daughter. I mean, it's pretty cool how the generations are all, trying to do their form of music because they're very attracted and musically inclined.
Yeah, my niece, she's an amazing singer. we have some talent in this family, different types of forms, which is great. But yeah, I wish her the best. I'm working. I did some stuff with her as well. So let's hope that we continue to quest for her music. Mm-hmm.
So let's circle back to Take Me Away, available on June 24th. This interview should be on or before the 24th. All the links are going to be in the descriptions where you can go get your copy. I already pre-ordered my copy. I can't wait. I'm looking at ChrissyI-eece.com. It's sometimes because of the lettering, I-eece, you kind of type, how many E's? How many E's? But we're going to have the description or the link in the description as well, because I-eece was a pain. I was like here for like 2 minutes trying to find it. And I'm
Forget it. Have you ever tried to ask like Alexa to play a Chrissy I-eece song? Like she'll never get it right. Forget
No,
it.
exactly. You may have to say it the way everyone does when I'm gonna perform. It's always like, and now, ladies and gentlemen, live on stage, Chrissy I-eece. Or Chrissy I-eece.
Like, is she selling piraguas by the water? What's going on here? I don't.
So funny.
I just laugh because I'm not gonna correct them. I feel bad. I'm like, está bien, está bien, está bien.
So I see some of the you've gone back to Latin music as well. I see Tonight I Celebrate My Love, which is a song that you did with Billy Crespo.
Yes.
Se Acabó. You also did a tropical song, Se Acabó. So you like to do all of it, and you should, because we need you in all of it. We need good quality vocalists that know what they're doing, that understand what music is all about. They're musically inclined. And I'm so glad that you got my joke about all these. Like, I swear, every day there's another wannabe freestyle singer coming out. 53-year-old wannabe freestyle singer. I'm like, but why is Gingivitis over here trying to sing?
Jose.
I don't understand.
One thing about Angel, one thing about Jose, he's like somebody that your grandmother would say, ese no tiene pelo en la lengua. Ese lo dice como as.
Well, I don't disagree with you. The thing is, when you reach a certain age, and you want to do something that youthful for the first time, people will look at it. But if you're doing something at a mature level, it's not easy to do salsa.
Not at all. No.
All right. Now, when I started playing bass in salsa music is when Marc first came out, because I've always been a salsa musician. My first professional gig was playing bass with Brenda K. Starr, which her first salsa single came out. And I've been with Brenda for over 25 years as a bass player, then musical director. But in the interim, I was also George Vaughn's musical director when he came out of salsa. I performed with Lizette Melendez when she came out of salsa. Okay. But I performed with all the big guys like Hector Tricoche, Carlos Tremera, Frankie Ruiz before he passed away. I played bass with him. So I played with so many artists, Tito Nieves, Jerry Vera. I got a lot of experience as a band leader. And now that the salsa industry, and I've always said this, there's only 2 female artists singing salsa right now that's currently working. That's India and Brenda. And I said, there's got to be someone else. Who is it? Until I met Chrissy. And when I heard Chrissy's voice with the Luis Perico Ortiz stuff, I said, where has she been all my professional life? Now it's Chrissy's turn. To me, in my eyes, I'm going to give Chrissy, I'm her musical director. That's it. My orchestra here in Florida, and my orchestra in New York, because we have to split up the bands because of travel. People don't want to, it's very expensive to do that. But my band is Chrissy's band now. I'm going to give Chrissy 110% of everything that I know about being a band leader, booking gigs, getting the work, the music, the stage performance. We're gonna put together such a kick-ass show for Chrissy in salsa. Pretty soon, we're gonna do a return to salsa for Chrissy I-eece. And so I'm looking for a venue in New York City to do the return to salsa for Chrissy, and one here in Orlando, Florida.
I got one here in New England too, if you want. They just remodeled it.
Well, we'll get to that one. But yeah, the salsa industry, for all people who are trying to get into freestyle, there's nothing wrong with it. Look, if you want to sing freestyle, that's what you want to do. But you have to take the criticism, right? You got to take it.
There is no taking criticism now. It's just like I'm a superstar. I'm bigger than Chrissy I-eece. You know, that's
No.
right off the rip. You know, that's how people are now. And so there's no more like working for it. There's no more earning your keep. There's no more understanding where you are in the hierarchy of the music. And it's like somebody comes out with a song. They never asked anyone if this is quality or not, and then you refuse to play it, and then they get upset with you, and it starts off this negative stigma of you on social media. But it's like somebody got to do quality control, right? Not everything that is freestyle is fire. Because imagine, like, we're syndicated. See, like 6 radio stations on FM. That's where we are, right? And so, if our show were to play the Chrissy I-eece Take Me Away, and then we follow it by Gingivitis, singing a song, people are going to shut off the radio station and never tune back into my show. You know what I mean? I have to follow the Take Me Away with another hot song. And that's what people don't understand. The build up to having a quality catalog for 60 minutes where you want to entice people to use their Shazam to look to see who sings that song, and can I purchase it on digital media? Can I get the CD for all you old school heads out there? And that's the job that we have.
Well,
here.
here's the deal. There's no second chance for first impressions. Okay? And in my experience, if you don't put out the right quality music, right quality lyrics, a right quality song, it's going to be difficult to get it listened to. Okay? I had to pull out the stops here. I got my brother involved, Benny B involved, and Carlos Berrios involved. It's because I knew where I wanted to take this song. And look who we got. Chrissy. Chrissy's got the most amazing voice. I'm not saying this because you're here, Chrissy. All right? I'm just saying it because it's true. I have experience working with the best artists in the business, and Chrissy is one of the best artists in the business.
You're not gonna get any backlash from me. Like, oh yeah, okay, tell me a lie. I don't understand.
No.
But look, here's one thing that Chrissy has that not many have. She has a website. She has her own store, her own digital store at ChrissyI-eece.com. Right, I'm looking through it right now. You can see you can purchase all these memories. Espérame. You can get a Chrissy I-eece poster, which is what every man wanted back in from '88 all the way through. You know what I mean?
I took all my T-shirts out because I need to put new merchandise. I don't want to keep that old merchandise.
But at least she even has masks, for goodness sake.
I still have my Farrah Fawcett poster. Okay, I'm not taking that one down.
Listen, I still have my Chrissy I-eece Love Desire 12-inch record. I will tell you right now. There's I don't even want to. She's married. I don't want to get beat up. I just like the pose in that and the look in her face is like, you look at it and you're like, man, I am in love. You know what I mean? And so to be in 1988, I was a bit younger, and I was starting my record collector thing, and I bought the 12-inch record, but it didn't have the cover on it. I bought the 12-inch record. It was like one of those promo only, do not sell, but they were selling it anyway. But then when the new shipment came in, and then they put the Chrissy I-eece on the thing for $4.39, I was like, I need 2 of those.
I'm getting that one.
I need 2 of those. You know what I mean? Because back then she got it. You know, she got it. I wish people today would get it. And that is, I'm ranting a little bit about the way things should be, but it's like I missed that press kit. I missed that bio. I miss finding out about the artist. You know,
but that's the thing about Chrissy. Chrissy is not afraid to roll up her sleeves and get into the job. You know, it's easy to sing a song.
I'm sorry. Look at this picture of Espérame. What a black and white, simple. But look at the face and the look. It looks great. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
And let me tell you, most of those pictures I take on my iPhone. Right. I love taking my iPhone
you're
pictures.
Amazing with your pictures.
She's good.
I drive my husband crazy.
All these memories one. I'm like, yeah, I need a poster of that. You know what I mean? I can't keep it.
She's not only taking like the most fabulous pictures, but they're like something right out of a Hallmark movie. Like, and I want to know how much of your wardrobe comes from Shein, because I cannot even tell you. I'm so obsessed with this.
We got to talk about that afterwards, girl, because that's my new store.
She's taking pictures like they're like right out of the magazine. Like, she's insane. It's fabulous.
My apologies, Mambo. My co-host is not very professional.
Oh, she's wonderful. She's wonderful.
I'm just kidding.
Chrissy is an artist that will get involved in her project.
Yeah.
Chrissy doesn't take things for granted. And that's something that's very important because some artists think just because they can sing, they don't do the footwork of their own. Today's business is not like yesterday.
Right.
We're all in this together. Okay? We're our own producers, videographers, photographers, graphic designers. Everything that you see from this Take Me Away project, that's all us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
And just remember, yesterday's prices is not today's prices.
No, it's not today's prices.
No, it's not.
But we have a
That's
we,
your
we
quote,
have a we
quote.
have a nice surprise for you guys as well. We're gonna be coming out with a salsa single next month with Chrissy and myself.
Amazing. Amazing. I can't
Nice.
wait. I can't
You
wait.
know
Listen, there's a lot of festivals that happen here that need vocalists like you that can bring an entire show like you. The Puerto Rican festivals are not like they used to be. They used to bring salseros. They used to sonean. They will have a percussion and it will go for an hour. And Timbalero has a 10-minute going off portion of it. The percussion has that too. Like it's great. I'm sorry, Christy, I interrupted you, but it's just like we don't have that type of artist anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh. No,
you
well,
asking me?
Chrissy, well, he's probably asking you, but
Double Dutch, trying to get in. Go ahead.
we're going to put together a show that's going to incorporate her freestyle and salsa together with a band. Okay, because I enjoy that all of the freestyle artists today that have been working all these years are still doing their thing. I thank them all. God bless them all for continuing the quest. Cynthia, Karina, George Lamont, everybody, they're still doing it. But what I was hoping for is I hear things from people, and I hear that people really would like to see more musicians than just a person with a microphone. They want to see a show. So as long as they're doing what they're doing, that's great. But we and Chrissy, we talked about this, and we want to put together a show. Okay, you have to sacrifice in order to get to the next level. Um, I don't want Chrissy to fall in that category as a track act. I don't. I don't. Especially that we have she has great salsa music that people will need to hear. They need to
Yes,
hear
I
it.
agree.
Okay. When I first heard Sangre Nueva, was it last month, 2 months ago?
Mm-hmm.
I went bananas because, like you said earlier, Jose, I thought it was India singing it. I did,
Wow.
and I freaked out. It was Chrissy all the way. Now the salsa single that we're coming out with Chrissy and I is a song that we both fell in love with as children, and
Classic.
and it's a classic. And that's it's English salsa. It's gonna be some Spanish words in it. It's gonna be some Spanish sonels in it that Chrissy's gonna be doing.
It's a 70s song.
It's a '70s song. I'm not gonna tell you what it is yet.
If we tell
Great.
them the artist, they're gonna know.
That's
Absolutely.
true. That's true.
But I would like to make a suggestion from my favorites pool. There's a song that that you did, Chrissy, that has Latin percussion, and it's called "I'm Not Chasing You." I would love for you to revisit that song and redo it for 2022, 2023, whatever, because that's such a great song. It's just it needs a 2022, 2023 update. And if you're doing percussion,
But you want to know something, Jose? That
Love
song
it.
was never released. That song was actually leaked from a cassette. It's been
I know I have it. I have it. That's what I'm saying. That I have it because that I was trying to say that it was a leaked record and it was never actually released. So for you to actually go into the studio, do the Latin percussion, Mambo Lebron will take care of that, and to get a male artist to maybe do the backgrounds, the male background, it will be a great revisit, and that it will be able to be enjoyed by the entire community. That's just my tidbit there for the.
You're not the
suggestion
only
box.
one that has said
Noted.
that. And that particular song was written by Marc Anthony as well. That was
I'm
gonna be
aware.
my
He
follow-up
also
song.
he also did the backgrounds, and
Yeah.
it's a great song.
Yeah.
And if it would have been mixed and mastered, it would have been a
That's
higher
why towards
quality.
the end of the song, you hear because the tape it broke, and then they we spliced the cassette, and it was
Right. That was, I love that. I don't even know what you said. I tried to translate it.
It said, "Girl,
I,
don't look at me that way. It's better. You, boy, don't look at me that way. It's better. You
yeah, it sounds great. It sounds great. Nobody cared, you know. To this
Nobody
day,
cared.
No, but I
I'll be
wanted to
right back.
say, something that Mambo had said um being an artist that uh puts on all the hats. When I came back out and resurfaced in 2016 with a EDM record called Anymore. It was like a house EDM.
yes.
It was on the Nene Music. I was working with Ruben Martinez during the time. And for me, I was like, wow, you're so used to being on a label that has the promotion department, a little bit of everybody does something. The booking
Sorry
department, the
about that.
promotion department, this department, that department. You didn't have to do anything but just show up, meet with each and every, category, how
Hmm.
every office, head, and do what they told you to do. You never really had a voice. I mean, I didn't. And so now coming back, resurfacing back into the industry after 15 plus years, I found that I had to figure out social media and how to promote myself there, and figure out how to do a website, and figure out how to, keep, if I have a new song, stay up till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. My husband's like, "Will you go to sleep?" This is me with my phone, like doing edits and making, all kinds of stuff just so that I could put something out to promote myself, and keep my face in the forefront, even though even when I'm in between music, then I'm doing pictures with music in the background or little stupid videos or whatever
And
it is.
listen, it's something that we do as well. I don't know if you
Yeah.
see, but every
Yeah.
day you're gonna see a
Just,
CPR
yeah.
Clubhouse Freestyle Universe,
Yep.
because that's
To
the way
stay
that we keep things
relevant.
going. And so, we're gonna keep you relevant because this song's gonna take us for the rest of the year. And thank you so much, by the way, because I felt like for 2022, I have a top 10 countdown, right? So I had to like start accepting songs that were like I do 7 and above, but I was like 6.8. I'm letting in, you know what I mean? Because we needed more quality stuff. But now that we're getting, 8s, 9s, and 10s, you know what I mean? I don't have to worry. And thank you so much for kicking some of the bad stuff out. But the thing is I really appreciate the song. You sound marvelous.
Thank you.
Um, tell me a little bit more about what your future plans is with Take Me Away. We didn't give enough credit to the gentleman who raps. Can you talk a little bit about him before we go?
Go ahead, Mambo.
Mr. Woods is from North Carolina. He's a rap artist who, um, he's a partner with another artist called, I forgot his
He's
name.
the royalty that he has
Royalty, right?
called royalty.
He did a track back in the days that was a rap track. You know the name of the song, right, Chrissy? Because I don't
Yeah,
remember.
he did the response to Scrubs. He wrote No Pigeons.
Pigeons, yeah. I remember pigeons, pigeons. I remember that. Yes.
Great.
I
He's
don't
one
But
of the
want no
writers in
pigeon.
that.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a great underground mixtape
Yep.
response, and we used to play it all at the music center all the time in the mixtape. But he did a great job. But go ahead, Mambo.
no, it's just that we met him for the first time through my brother and the kid. Just he did a great job on the rap. Um, he's very talented. He's traveling around the world with his music, but he is more excited about "Take Me Away" than anything I've ever heard from
He's
his
so
mouth.
humble.
He's
What
humble,
an
good kid, good
Oh
guy,
my
good
God,
guy.
he's such a
Yeah.
sweetheart. Like when we were doing the video, he flew in into Mamba went to pick him up at Tampa. We were at Ybor City, and we didn't even talk about what we were wearing or anything like that. He came with an orange jacket with white pants, and I had an orange shirt, and we were like, "Oh my God!" We knew each other forever. Oh my God, what's
It
up,
was
sis?
meant to be. It was meant
Meant
to
to
be.
That's
be. The chemistry, because I was a little nervous about that. I says, okay, we're gonna get a rapper into the video now. Like, how am I gonna feel? Like, how you gonna collaborate with him and feel comfortable? You wanna show that you got chemistry. And so with Woods, with I felt like I knew him forever, forever. He was such a
Yeah.
sweetheart. He was whatever Mambo told him. This is what we're gonna do, and and this is how we're gonna. He goes, okay, let's do it. You know, like, oh man, I love
We'll have
him.
his information on the description as well, so you can check him out.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, and
And I keep
follow
doing
him. He
this.
has
I'm
a
like, what
challenge
am I doing?
going up with line up, line up, line up, line up. I gotta do my lineup challenge.
So
He's
we're gonna
he's
have to
sending me things.
start closing the episode down. But Duchess, do you have anything else that you want to discuss before we go?
I think we really touched every time I wanted to ask a question. We really just covered it, especially when you were just getting started back in the beginning and working with Marc Anthony and Little Louis Vega. I just always wondered, like, how did that you were so impressionable and you were so young, just a little tiny baby, if you ask me. And I always wondered if you felt like working with them on what was really your second song in '91. You should know by now if that really made you feel more comfortable going forward, if he almost slingshotted your maturity into the entire situation of the music business, and maybe gave you what you needed to help, or do you feel like it wouldn't have made a difference either way? You would have just went on to do what you did.
Well, I
Land the
really
plane.
wasn't. I wasn't really that young. I was already in my 25s, almost 30s when I was doing that. When I was already doing, you should know by now. I was 25 when I released, um, Love
But but
Desire.
but you're
And
39 now. What's going on here?
Yeah, you said the same
yeah,
thing. Oh,
honey, 50s looks great on me, honey.
yes, it does. We're
Anyway,
gonna
but
talk about that too after the skincare regimen.
that's between me and you, right? No, but like I said, back then I really didn't have a voice for myself. I really was doing what everybody wanted me to do because I wanted to please everybody so that I can continue to do what I wanted, which is to sing. So I
Right.
think it's now that I've grown and matured. I look back and I see my whole journey, and I'm at a place right now where I could say, man, I'm really, really happy. I think I've arrived to where I need to be, and moving forward, where me and Mambo, with Mambo's vision and what we want to do together and what we're going to bring, and how I feel like, I found somebody that really believes in me and my talent, my vision and everything. And I see everything that he wants to do as well, like where we sometimes we sit down on the phone and we have conversations about what he sees. One time I was crying on the phone with him, because everything that I've been wanting to do, he has his what his
Of
vision is
freestyle.
is is like we're locked in. So
And that's
I
why I
can't
think
wait.
the song is going to be so successful,
Yeah,
because the two of you, it was just wonderful.
yeah.
And well, if you're talking about being at that place in your life, so who would you want to work with if you're going to continue to try to put salsa or freestyle? Is there somebody in particular that you have not collabed with that you would just love to do a song with?
There's a
Make it
couple of
happen.
people. There's a couple of people, but I don't want to put it out there
All right,
until it really
fair
does
enough.
happen. Because
Yeah,
there are a lot of talented artists out there that I would like to work with, but it'll be somebody that I know that I mean I can't I don't want to just say that, just like say,
right.
oh, this is the person I want to work with.
Yeah, for
No.
me, I would love to hear you do a duet with Domingo Quinones, but that's because he's one of my favorites. But
No,
that's neither here nor there.
I
You
would
know,
love to
the,
do it
the
with Gilberto Santa Rosa.
Oh man,
I'm gonna
don't
tell you.
get
I'm
me
gonna tell
started.
you something. I have bigger dreams for her. I believe that the only way to go from here is we already been at the bottom. The only way to go is up. But I want her. I want Chrissy to do bigger things with big name artists, because Chrissy is a big. She's a very talented singer. Chrissy's not just that fly by night singer. Chrissy is a singer. She's an artist. So we do have a duet with someone in mind. And we don't like to reveal too much of what we do, because
Yeah,
sometimes you get,
a lot of things change.
things may not happen the way you want it to happen,
Mm.
right? But when they do happen, believe me, it'll be explosive. It'll
And
be,
when you hear it, you guys are gonna be like, wow.
yeah, because
awesome.
we're on the same page, and
And I can't wait to see this video.
well, the video is yeah, it's fun.
I can't.
Oh my
And
god.
like you said before, Jose, the reason why we did this song, that there's so many different segments, that's so much fun, because there's so much, like you said before, Cheryl, the introduction alone got you going. Then you got the vocals that came in. Then we had the edits, and then we have the rap coming in. We have the breakdown. Then the ending of the song. The reason why I wanted to end the song with the piano and me and her on voice, just piano and her, is because Robert Cole that produced "Because of You" from the Cover Girls. He's, rest in peace. When he did that "Because of You" song, I always felt this guy was on the point, and I wanted to do something in reflective of what he did with this song. I wanted to remember him by doing the piano ending on "Take Me Away." So there's a lot of elements in this song.
Yeah, listen, let me
A
tell
lot.
you, the Take Me Away, the 7-minute version,
Mhm.
is an experience because it starts off slow and it ends with a crescendo.
Mhm.
And there's so many layers and layers of goodness, is what I always say. In the song, it's Chrissy I-eece and the vocals. It's Mambo and the production, the Latin percussion, the rap. It's the break beat, which it's important in freestyle. And then the ending is so like Chrissy I-eece apropos. You know what I mean? Like you have that Chrissy I-eece voice letting you know this was a Chrissy I-eece song, and this was a Chrissy I-eece experience, and
Thank
you
you.
just experienced 7 minutes and 25 seconds of just greatness, just goodness all the way through. So
Jose, and
congratulations on the song.
I also wanna say, give a shout out and a thank you to my friend Tracy Lopez, who is the one that's doing the backgrounds on the song. She and I used to sing in the choir in our church. She moved down here. She lives here with her husband and her daughter. And I always said, man, Tracy, if I ever do a song, if I ever do a recording and you're in the same state as I am, I want you to do background vocals. And so when we did the song, I told Mambo I have somebody that I would love to add. Her voice is just very soft and sweet, and I think will be perfect for this song. And he was like, "Let's bring her in." And she did. She came down and she did. She executed her vocals, and she sounds so beautiful in the background doing her oohs and singing "Take Me Away." That's her beautiful vocals there. So I want to say thank you to
Thank you, Tracy.
Nieves. Tracy Nieves, not Lopez. That's her maiden name.
Well,
Thank you,
again,
Tracy.
man, it's been a pleasure to have you both, Mambo.
Thank you,
The
Jose.
Thank you,
legend
Jose.
of your family continues. You
Thank you,
bring the
Cheryl.
you bring the Latin percussion to freestyle. You bring it back with style. It isn't like it's cheesy or it's not done with real instruments. It's like real stuff. And I commend you on that.
Thank you.
Chrissy I-eece, finally, we get an episode that's not cursed, quote unquote. I'm gonna check it as soon as it's done. But for Mambo Lebron, the Duchess Cheryl Rodriguez, and of course the incomparable, because nobody can measure up, Chrissy I-eece. My name is
Oh,
CPR Jose Ortiz, and this has been CPR's Clubhouse Live, available on YouTube and also on Spotify, video and audio. So if you want
Thank
to
you.
see the video and the audio, you can go to Spotify and you can actually listen to it, or you can look up on the video and you can see the video, or just go to YouTube and do it the old school way with the video, and yeah. So if you would like a poster of Chrissy I-eece, like I want a poster of Chrissy I-eece, go to ChrissyIeece.com and check out the merchandise. But I'm still gonna go and put my Love Desire poster next to my office.